Understanding the implications of martial law declaration, a complex scenario. The declaration of martial law is a significant and rare occurrence, often arising during times of crisis, civil unrest, or national emergencies. It involves the suspension of normal legal processes and the transfer of military authority to civilian governance. This delves into the multifaceted implications of declaring martial law, examining potential effects on civil liberties, governance, and society. The nature of martial law. Martial law is an extraordinary measure that involves the deployment of military forces to maintain public order, often bypassing or superseding civilian authorities. It is typically declared when the government believes that regular law enforcement mechanisms are insufficient to address a crisis. Implications of martial law. Curtailed civil liberties. 1. In the interest of maintaining order, martial law often entails restrictions on civil liberties, such as freedom of assembly, movement, and expression. 2. Civilian courts may be replaced or supplemented by military tribunals, leading to a shift in how justice is administered. Increased military presence. 1. Martial law involves a substantial military presence in civilian areas, potentially leading to an increased perception of militarization within society. 2. Troops may be deployed for law enforcement duties, patrolling streets, and ensuring compliance with regulations. Governance shift. 1. Civilian governance is often temporarily replaced or complemented by military rule, with military commanders assuming authority over certain aspects of governance. Restricted media and communication. 1. Martial law can involve censorship or control over media outlets to manage information dissemination. 2. Communication channels may be restricted or monitored to prevent the spread of information deemed harmful to the government's efforts. Suspension of habeas corpus. 1. In some cases, habeas corpus, the right to challenge one's detention, may be suspended, leading to individuals being held without charges or legal recourse. Economic disruption. 1. Martial law can disrupt economic activities, impacting businesses, transportation, and supply chains due to curfews and restrictions. Public dissent and unrest. 1. The declaration of martial law can provoke public dissent and protests, as citizens respond to perceived overreach or violations of their rights. Long-term consequences. 1. The effects of martial law can have lasting impacts on public trust, governance, and civil-military relations. Balancing security and civil liberties. Temporary measure. 1. Martial law is intended to be a temporary response to crises and emergencies. 1. However, its duration can vary significantly based on the situation. Legal framework. 1. The legal basis for declaring martial law varies by country. 1. It is essential to adhere to legal procedures to ensure its legitimacy. Conclusion. The declaration of martial law is a complex and contentious step that can have far-reaching implications for a nation's social fabric, governance, and civil liberties. While it may be implemented with the intention of restoring order and addressing crises, it also raises concerns about the potential erosion of civil rights and the balance between security and individual freedoms. Striking the right balance between maintaining order and safeguarding democratic principles remains a challenging task for any government facing such a decision. As history has shown, the implications of martial law reverberate long after its declaration, underscoring the need for careful consideration, transparency, and respect for human rights when navigating this delicate and consequential path.